Good morning, Lekhika, and welcome to this new podcast series that we're launching, which is around Life After GRMI. Some of you may have already seen me talk to a bunch of our more senior alums, as I would call them, who've got a certain number of years of experience behind them now in the corporate world, and are able to talk about what life seems like maybe 4 or 5 years out. This series that we're starting is more to talk to those alums who've more recently graduated and therefore are possibly closer to what immediately life after GRMI is. So welcome, Lekhika, to the series. Thank you so much for making time, and it's always wonderful talking to our alums on these chats. So why don't I start this off with a very simple question? Just talk me through what's your life at Nippon all about, current role.
So, my current role, as you know, that I am the first auditor of Nippon Paints. So my role involves auditing the various processes across the various different entities that we have. So recently I completed an audit of our India division, and which and I had the conclusion meeting yesterday with the president of our segment, and it went really well. And I am also auditing an entity at Middle East right now, but since it is an ongoing, so we haven't concluded it, but it has been an interesting experience as I get to work both regional and international levels, identifying risk and insurance compliance with our internal standards. And the exposure that I'm getting here is really vast because I have also had the chance to interact with the NMC group people. So we submit a CSA to our NMC group, which is based out of Singapore, and I have had the chance to discuss with them how risks are across the different entities of Nippon, across India, across Thailand. So that experience is really very, very huge because the perspective that I get from them is something very different, and I believe this will play a pivotal role in my role in Nippon.
Fantastic. Sounds terrific to hear how sort of just a year out of the institute you've managed to do as much as you have. So talk to us a little bit about what I'm sure all prospective students would love to hear about, which is how was your experience through the placement process, and how is the role that you have aligned to actually what you wanted to be doing when you were joining GRMI? You must have had certain expectations, and how does the role sort of align to it?
Yes. So the placement process was a mix of challenges and triumphs for me. I faced a setback in one interview, but then I sat for Nippon interview, which had 3 rounds, and I was able to clear all of them, and that was a major win. And as for my role, it's exactly what I had imagined. The responsibility and scope of the joint aligned perfectly with my aspirations. Earlier when I joined, I could say because I was getting to know the organization and I did not had the end-to-end knowledge, I was feeling like maybe I should have gone somewhere else. But right now when it's been an year almost here, I can see how it perfectly aligns with my aspirations, and how this is exactly what I have wanted when I decided that I want to do internal audit somewhere. This is exactly the role that I've dreamt of.
Terrific. And it's good to hear that, the way you put it, which is end of the day, placement's not always about success, right?
Yes.
There are surprises. And I think it's good the way you sort of took it on. So how easy or difficult has it been to apply what you learned in the classroom at GRMI? I know we have a lot of case studies. I know we have corporate teachers, so there are practical examples. But even after doing all that, how easy or difficult has it been to apply what you learned at GRMI at your actual workplace?
Yes, so it wasn't always easy, but it definitely wasn't impossible. At GRMI, I learned to identify risk, manage processes, so I had a good understanding of what needed to be done. What is the right set of steps that I need to do? However, since I am Nippon's first internal auditor, I faced a few challenges in terms of getting everything set up. Earlier, I used to face a little resistance as people used to ask me, "Why do you want to know this? What we are doing? We are doing the perfect set of steps that we are required to do." But over time, as I gain a deeper understanding of the organization and most importantly, how people are there, how is their culture, I'm able to tackle these challenges head on. And it's amazing how often the knowledge that I gained at Jeremiah surprises my colleagues. People often wonder how I know so many areas, and people keep asking me, "How do you know this also? How?" Like when I just joined Nippon, I had a discussion with one of the commercial executive. Like, "Are you doing this? Are you doing this?" He said, "No, we are not." Then I said, "Then this must be creating this sort of risk, this sort of situations." And he was like, "How do you know this? You are a fresher. You are not supposed to know this just being a fresher." And I was like, "These are the things that I've been taught at GRMI." So they are pretty surprised. And it wasn't always easy, but since it has almost been an year, and I know how to deal with people more better. So it's been a journey, but it has been a great journey.
Terrific. And I think this is exactly what it is, that you surprise people by the fact that you know things they don't expect you to know. But at the same time, obviously there are softer skill learnings that come just out of being there, right? Out of meeting people, managing situations, understanding what stakeholders possibly are deliberately keeping away from you. But hopefully things that you've learned allow you to sort of navigate those well, and that's what I'm seeking to hear from you. So going a little bit beyond classroom learnings, what are your takeaways from GRMI and memories of GRMI? Let's have both.
Okay, so beyond the classroom, Jeremiah taught me how to manage events and handle real world challenges. As you know, I was involved in organizing events like the Freshers and the Ganesh celebration that we had, and more. These experiences taught me how to manage people, balance expectations of few people, and get things done within a limited budget. It was also a great lesson in balancing work and fun, making sure that we not only excel academically but also enjoy our time at GRMI. And one of the few things, the fondest memories of GRMI beyond the classroom was our trip to Kasoli. That trip wasn't just about having fun. I believe it marked the beginning of a tradition. I think we started a legacy of batch trips, and I think that was the moment for me, because I believe after that 2 or 3 batches have also gone for the trips. So this is what you do. That is what I enjoy the most, because we were able to convince all of the people at GRMI for a batch trip. So that was quite a fun, and I was also involved in planning that trip, making sure that everything goes as per the plan, even if it didn't, but that was quite a memory.
And you didn't talk about Convocation 23.
Yes, that is something that I have kept for a different set. Like,
Okay, that's
I can
fine.
just talk about it and for my
No,
hours
that's
and
fine.
hours.
No, that's fine. We'll come to it. So, how would you compare and contrast yourself as a person before and after GRMI?
Okay. So before GRMI, I had very little knowledge of the corporate world. I used to just like create scenarios like this. This is how it must be done. This is how it must be at the real workplace. So I had very little knowledge. But joining GRMI was a game changer. It taught me how to operate in a professional environment. That the industry leaders and mentors, they taught us in ways that I never expected. Like they didn't just taught us how to manage ourselves in workplace. They also taught us how to apply concepts which you wouldn't think can be applied. So they taught us these things which I think made a very drastic I would say effect on me. And looking back, I realized how much I've transformed over those 10 months. like it's incredible to see the progress I've made. Earlier, I used to be a little nervous presenting before everyone, how I would fumble sometimes, but now I can present confidently to everyone. And I presented to the president of our segment yesterday, and he was really impressed, and he was like, uh, "You did a very pretty good job," and he was smarter. You will grow smarter. And then he stopped and he said, you will not grow smarter. You're already smarter. You'll grow much smarter with the experience that you're having. So this appreciation that I get, I can say that this is the result of the transformation that I have done at GRMI. So I
Terrific.
think
And coming from the president, as you know, he's a dear college friend of mine. I know he's not the easiest guy to deal with, nor the
I know
make
it
happen.
was
So
a journey of 1 year. Then I got this appreciation from him. So it's a
I
big
can
thing.
imagine that. Yeah. So, how are you able to sort of build on the learnings you had from GRMI into your workplace? How are you taking that learning and continue to build on it?
Okay, so my learnings from GRMI, like I was really satisfied with how my learning is evolving. So every quarter I get to meet new people and work with different organizations, which keeps things fresh and exciting. Like I thrive on variety and dislike doing repetitive tasks, and which is actually one of the reasons I was drawn to a career in risk management. So it's dynamic and constantly evolving, and whenever I'm faced with new challenges or working with different teams, I can always rely on the knowledge and skills that I gained at GRMI to help me navigate through the situations. So like very reassuring to know what I've learned there continues to be so relevant and applicable in my day-to-day work. Suppose I'm just having a meeting with one of the stakeholders, and because of the way they are presenting, because of the soft skills they demonstrate, I can feel that there is something that is not being shared with me. And this I have been taught at GRMI, how to, when you're doing a meeting with a stakeholder, how to know that there is something that they are not telling you, and you just have to dig more to know those things.
So, Lekhika, I think it might sound a little bit repetitive, but would be good to hear from you. How would you say GRMI has really shaped your professional career?
Okay, so GRMI has definitely helped me navigate my career in directions I always wanted. The skills and insights I gained during my time there have been invaluable. Like I just said that my colleagues are often asking me how I know so much, and it is all thanks to the education I received at GRMI. And it's not just about how much I know things; it's also about how to present it effectively. GRMI has taught me the art of communicating my ideas clearly and confidently, which is crucial at the workplace. And this is not just that they have taught. This is what I have noticed at GRMI, how you people present, how you people speak so confidently. This has also left an effect on me, and taught me how to present yourself. So that has helped me in ways I don't know. Like I know that even if your content isn't that strong, if you're presenting it very confidently, it does the job. So this is one of the things that GRMI has taught me. And for content, I don't need to speak much enough, because everything that we have been taught at GRMI, I've been applying to it, and it is so helpful at workplace that I have never faced a situation where I felt like this is something that I don't know. This is something I cannot do. This I can see my colleagues that they get frustrated sometimes, as they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what is going on. But I never had to deal with such a situation, and I think this has helped me to stay confident at my tenure, like whatever my tenure is at GRMI, and deal with every other challenges very confidently.
Terrific. So as we sort of get to kind of wind this discussion up, how would you compare yourself with your peers from before GRMI? You had friends, peers ahead before GRMI. You know what they're doing now.
Yes.
How do you compare yourself with them, having been through the GRMI experience and where you are now at your workplace?
So before GRMI, one of my peers, she is also in a similar field. She is also in risk management and at one of the big fours. But she always keeps asking me, how do you know so much? How I am also doing the same set, I'm in the same path, but I don't do the stuff that you do. My seniors haven't delegated me that much that you've been doing. So I feel because they have tend to stick what's comfortable, while I am constantly looking for new ways to grow. So this is the effect that GRMI has on me, because we keep identifying more risks, we keep going deeper into the areas and presenting to what is the risks here. This has also have an effect on how I am. I have become so dynamic. So from the experience that I have gained at GRMI, the way I approach problems and opportunities now surprises them, my peers, and many are amazed by how much I have accomplished and how far I have come in a short span of time. So they sometimes look up to me like, yeah, we really want to try this one, but since it has been a time and they have settled, kind of decided that they want to stick into this career, they do not want to take this step of choosing something very different, but they're always amazed at how I've been doing things, how I have changed my career from something to something very, very happening, I would say. Yes.
Terrific. Absolutely amazing, Lekhika, to hear kind of the way you've actually now feel more confident about yourself, how your peers see you as being successful. And that's extremely gratifying for us back at the Institute. I did want to not wind up the session without taking you back to what I mentioned during the chat, because you were the key folks who made Convocation 23 a big deal for us. And enough people sort of see that YouTube video or YouTube sort of recording. Talk to us a little about what did it feel like as students organizing that event, seeing the Institute at its full might. What's the experience? What do you remember of it?
Can remember how many nights were sleepless. We would just keep planning on how we could make this better. We would often keep contacting many vendors, hoping that what if this one will offer something else and maybe we can make our event more better. So there were many sleepless nights. There were dozens of vendors that we were contacting, and obviously when it was all done, when we woke up at I guess 3 or 4 in the morning, reached the convocation site, and when things started to we could see how it would be, how they started decorating the space, how we were planning how the guests would come, when and who has to welcome the guests, who has to wait at the gate, who has to make sure that the sound and light effects are right on. So all this, I felt like we are directing a movie at that point. We were making sure that everything is right on. So that and when everything was done, when we were just giving, the convocation was about to wind up and the students were going on the stage to get their photographs, and then we all felt like it's done. We have done it. It went so flawless and so seamless that I was amazed to see. We don't even have any experience at event organizing. Even none of us did. One of my friends, he did not had any experience, and he is a very desi jugaad banda, as you know, and he also managed to do everything, manage everything, and that was something that I think I'd remember for a long time. Like, I didn't know that I could do this, and I was able to do. That is something.
Terrific. The only reason I want to bring that out is I think I always remember that as an event where, everyone came together as a team so beautifully. Yes. And I think each one of us, including me, I think each one of us felt good that so much can be done as a team. And I think whenever I think of your batch, I think that's one of the things that will always remain fresh, because you all had taken the lead in pulling that off. Thank you so much, Lekhika, for this wonderful chat. As I said in the beginning as well, always feels terrific to hear at Alum. So do well, be happy in life, and hopefully it's reassuring for all of those of you who are listening into this podcast and more of these, to see that this is real and this is a lot of fun, and people grow while having fun. Thank you once again, Lekhika. Look
Thank
forward
you
to
so
staying in
much,
touch.
Vishal.
Thanks.
Thank you.